Should we load stuff in? Is that the plan?
You guys have people to load our stuff, right?
Yeah, makeup will be right with you. Today, Marc is letting Abel and I cut our teeth, recording one of the sessions, setting up the mics, and working with the band to put down some tracks.
So we're getting the new guys? I see how it is.
We're going to put guitar amps over here just to isolate them a little bit.
Okay.
You know, we'll just put them both in here.
In that room?
Yep.
Oh.
You got stands in there, Abel?
I have one.
Your kit setup?
Rack tom, floor tom, snare, crash rod, and hi-hats. I'm a lefty, so it's going to be backwards.
Okay.
Well, I was not the original drummer. Huak at the time was a three-piece, and it was Stefan and Jake and another drummer. I also play in a band called the Rattlesnakes. I guess I felt like I had too much free time. So I decided to join this band too.
We were with our other drummer, Stefan and I, for almost 2 years. But that's not even exactly right. Stefan and I have been playing together since high school, middle school for him. He's 2 years younger than me. He was like 13 or 14 when we started playing together.
I learned to play bass from this guy, Jeff Smith, and I went to it for about I think about 2 years or so. Since then, I've just basically been playing by myself and like self-taught guitar and stuff like that, and using whatever theory I knew on bass to bring it over other things.
For Huak, it was about 1.5 to 2 years before we got Joel and Mike, and it really started to take off, I think.
I feel like I don't have much to do right now.
Are you all set up, Joel?
I just went to my amp and turned the knobs to where they're supposed to be. One of them fell out of place, but.
We all tuned up there.
Oh yeah, tune it.
Tyler, what's the difference between miking a right-handed kit and a left-handed kit?
Well, take all the same mics and you reverse the order. Actually, this is the first time I've ever mic'd a drum kit.
It's a good thing you got Abel here.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know what instrument Abel plays?
No. What do you play, Abel?
I play drums.
Well, there you go.
Who better to learn from, right?
It is a weird kit, though. It's not exactly just reversed, because this is where I would put, as a right-hand drummer, the first tom. So you think if you were left, you'd put it here instead, but it's just different.
For the overhead left and right, do you determine it by from the drummer's left and right?
Yeah, usually it's gonna be. No, it's gonna be. This is still gonna be his left. This will still be his left. We'll keep it that way, because he's gonna want to be. He's gonna want to hear it from what he's actually sitting at. And if you bring this over to the left.
I've never dealt with a setup this technical before. All the mics for the drum kit, dealing with the amps and the ISO booth, it's all sort of new stuff for me. But yeah, Abel is more experienced with this sort of thing, so today I'm sort of following his lead, picking up as much as I can.
I'm just breaking stuff.
And so Abel, this is actually the first recording you've done in this studio?
Yeah. A little bit unsure on how these mics are gonna sound, so I'm just gonna mic them up, see how they sound. If I like them, then I'll keep them. When I'm at my studio, I know which mics I have and I know exactly what I want. If I want to try something different, I'll swap it out. Take a stab at it. Can you guys hear me in there?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so if you want to go ahead and just jam out, and we'll get some sounds. You might hear some things popping in and out. Just keep on playing
Okay.
until we set levels, and then we'll instruct you guys on headphones in there.
Okay. You guys, stats?
Was it as complicated as a setup as you thought it was going to be?
Are you asking me? Not as complicated, no. But I think kind of working in this studio for the past couple months helped a lot because the setup wasn't completely new. Like I had a vague idea of where things go, and I've seen these guys set up drum kits and stuff a lot doing this show.
This time, just kind of jam out in sections, like a chorus or a bridge or something, and just stop and fix your headphones. Because I've got really good levels inside here for recording, so now it's all about getting your headphones squared away and sounding nice.
Okay.
So just start and stop as you feel need, and then when you're ready, then we'll just start rolling. You all good in your headphones?
I guess I'm the primary arranger. I do write most of the lyrics. I think it's pretty much balanced with who comes up with parts. It's really kind of a collective type of thing. Would you say that's about right?
Yeah,
Everyone
I don't
kinda
really know
has-
what was the songwriting process like before. I mean, because Joel was an addition to the band around the same time I was, so I feel like that was kind of a twofold change in the band. Did that change the way the songs were written?
It's an election and it feels so good to finally count again, to finally count again, to finally count again. I'm so glad we finally count.
Recorded an EP with Peapod Recordings with Ron Harity at his old studio. I've come from all bands that have really had maybe almost a DIY ethic to a fault, like of doing everything. And it's nice to have somebody to take over some of those things that, you know, just putting records out, sending them to people.
It's great to work with Ron too, because he kind of sees the direction that me and the rest of the guys want to take it in, and that really helps with recording.
You know, some people can record one kind of sound and then make somebody fit into that sound, but Ron seems to be good at capturing what a band wants to sound like.
I wrote it during the summer of 2008. It's about working at a call center, doing surveys over the telephone.
I did that too. And people writing it, people taking it, people, reciting it over the phone. Everybody knows that it's all just, complete garbage.
So yeah, not that this is a conspiratorial type of song.
No.
It just seemed like no one really cared. The only time opinions are asked of the general public is, when we're gearing up for an election.
And anyone who did care enough to take the surveys was pretty angry at the
Did
end.
it sound alright that last take?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes, sir.
Stefan, I want to...
And it's sporadic, but I like it. Yeah, see,
Yeah, that's his
It's
pick
the
hitting
pick.
the pickups.
Stefan, you pick pretty close to your pickups?
Yeah.
okay, I just wanted to make sure.
You don't usually hear it unless you're direct. If you're through an amp, the amp can't articulate the click very well, so you don't really hear it on an amp.
Can
But
we
you hear it
listen?
direct.
Can we listen to that take? Is that
The last one?
Yeah, it kind of represents our cohesion as this four-piece, I think, because it was really the first song we all came together on.
Yeah, we tend to write songs over the course of like a long period of time, but this one came together really quickly. I think like within a week or two.
When it comes to the group, I guess it's more of just trying to be really forceful in how I play. What influences my playing right now is mostly fast, sometimes noisy, and even melodic stuff.
When the last of the satellites have fallen down and networks cascaded to the ground, it felt like a cruel joke. So we held on to our friends, and they felt like a cruel. Turn the power off, turn around, turn on your best friend. Turn the power off, turn around, turn on your best friend. Turn the power off, turn the power off, turn the power off, turn the power off, turn the power off.
As a bass player, having me and Joel join, I feel like you got to play the bass more as like a bass instrument and less as a lead, which I think is really, like the bass parts have gotten, I don't know, they stand out.
With the trajectory.
The first record.
Yeah, the first one was meandering and just sort of all over the place, but I definitely like this more just because it allows me to enjoy the group as a whole, to play it as rhythmically.
Shapes find home. Shapes find home. Shapes find home.
Joel and I are on opposite sides of the songwriting spectrum, I think. I like to use a lot of open space, and that's sort of what the band was about before we got Joel and Mike, I think. We
Yeah,
kinda-
it was pretty open beforehand. I mean, again, with it just being a three-piece, it was sort of like you were on chords, I was on melody, and Eric was on percussion.
just did our first actual show out of state in Boston at O'Brien's.
I think the plan is sometime this summer to get out for a week or two and play around the East Coast, wherever we can.
Do something close to a tour.
Yeah.
Transportation has been a problem. We've gone through 2 vans. The first one last fall got obliterated by a drunk driver. Got another van, and that thing was a farm van that was used in Brewster County. My cousin gave it to me.
Wasn't the sole purpose of that van at that point to transport potatoes from one place to another?
Yeah. From the storage area to the grocery store, and then it just completely broke.
That was a good van.
So now we use a Camry and a Subaru. My dad played 12-string acoustic. That was a big influence. There's always a guitar around in my house. What really got me into playing for myself was finding this red Epiphone Dot guitar that was completely broken that was left over from my grandfather's jazz band in our attic. I wanted to get that fixed up, started taking lessons for 3 years with the same guy Stefan had. Then I just started writing my own stuff and wasn't too concerned about theory and just kind of went my own route from there.
Plastic bags, fingertips, late night sugar fix, coaxing out the tea with a gentle touch of a lover, meticulously pack them away.
Like middle school to early high school, I took lessons on and off. I mostly just asked my guitar teacher, Jason, to teach me Smash Mouth songs that I liked. And he wrote a bunch of stuff about music theory into this notebook. And so then I read the notebook later, and even though I never practiced, he taught me a lot. My mom listened to music a lot. And my dad was a metalhead back in the 70s, but that was the first musician in my family.
I took drum lessons in high school before I owned a drum kit, and then quit drum lessons when I got a drum kit, which seems probably counterintuitive. I took a long break from drums in college when I couldn't have my set in my dorm room. For about a year and a half now with this lineup. It's been a really good creative experience for me. It's just a totally different way to write songs than I had experienced before. I grew up listening to Talking Heads and the Ramones and the B-52s and the Beatles. And then I, of course, rebelled against that in middle and high school by listening to the worst music I could find. And then got back into playing punk music. I like a ton of bands, and rhythmically, at least, this band is a way to kind of synthesize a lot of influences. Like I said, my role in this band is kind of like adding a bit of maybe a solid, simple foundation to some songs.
Yeah, you and me tend to have kind of a more like driving sound, and we apparently both listened to like weird pop bands when we were younger. So.
Yeah.
Personally, I went through lots of phases of music, but I came out of like a Frank Zappa phase in high school, and then I got into Fugazi and indie bands like that, like around the time that I met Jake. So
it's not really important to me that the music gets everywhere. It ends up in top 40 play because it's just not going to happen. The fact that no one can ever pronounce our band name right is a good illustration of that. It's the acronym for the House Un-American Activities Committee from the 50s.
It was mostly Eric that thought of it.
Our old drummer.
Yeah, but like it's supposed to be like HUAC, but we changed the C to a K because it makes it seem a little bit more symmetrical.
Just for the record.
Well, if it's said that you can never go home again, I can't stop. I got myself in a bind now. Second sweet satisfaction through filter. Then I'm back to the brick wall. Now it's sweet coming into melody. Stare it down. Tear it down. It's all on you now. No more procrastination. Tear it out. Twist and shout. We all hate the change that resolves the song. And the animals they die. And your pathetic mirror body. Will they someday compensate you? When the dialogue's gone, you stare it down, tear it down. It's all on you now, no more procrastination. Tear it out, twist and shout. Everybody loves the change that resolves the song. Counting the sound down like digital